Hi, everybody, and welcome to Lockdown Brewers. I'm your host, Chuck Freeman. Brewers are officially in a funk. They've lost 3 in a row. They've dropped 4 of their last 5, falling for a second day in a row. The Detroit Tigers, just not a lot of life tonight. Got into an early hole. We'll talk about that and a few more things as well. And an injury update to Garrett Mitchell and Sal Frelick. All that coming up next here on Lockdown Brewers.
You are Locked On Brewers, your daily Milwaukee Brewers podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Great to have you on here on Lockdown Brewers. I'm your host, Chuck Freeman. Been covering the Brewers for over 40 years, worked for AP Radio, morning sports anchor at 1310 WIBA in Madison. A lot of you have been hearing me doing sports talk shows in the Milwaukee area for many, many years, and love doing it. And the Milwaukee Brewers are my favorite professional sports team here in the state of Wisconsin. And always love hearing from you on Twitter, on Facebook. If you want to go to Facebook, you can friend me there. But on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. Or you can go to YouTube, subscribe to YouTube. You see the video there. If you're watching us on YouTube, hit the subscribe button, hit that little bell there. That's going to alert you every time we drop an episode. We are here after every Brewer game. Every Brewer game, we are here. We are an everydayer, just like you. You people out there, I shouldn't say you. I mean, that's horrible to say, you people out there. I mean, that's you great fans out there. You know how much I love the fans here in the state of Wisconsin and our great Brewer fans. And not only Wisconsin, we're all over the world on this thing. But, you know, you everydayers out there, you write me on Twitter, you ask me questions, and you drop messages on YouTube and on here and so forth. It is great talking to you because, you know, we're a special brand, a special loyal brand, us Brewer fans, because we get led down the road, and most of the time, 99.9% of the time, we are disappointed in how it ends up for the Milwaukee Brewers, but we still keep coming back for more. All right. Again, drop us a note at YouTube as well. You know, there's a comment section. Always love hearing from us, hear from you when the comments come rolling into us. And I know we had some video problems over the past couple of weeks. We've cleared those up, and going forward, we should have no problem. We didn't have any problem last night. Shouldn't have any more going forward. Lockdown Brewers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. We are your team every day. Thanks for making Lockdown Brewers your first listen every dayers. And of course, tomorrow is game 3 of the series against the Detroit Tigers. Brewers and Tigers. That is going to be a 12:40 start at AmFam Field as the homestand continues. Catch every pitch of Brewers hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Brewers. All right, let's get to the game. Eric Lauer, an amazingly high pitch count in this one. 85 pitches through in 3 innings. He pitched so well in his previous outing. So well. And, you know, he was great. But this is where we are with Eric Lauer. Sometimes you might get a great performance like his last outing. And then other times where he pitched, I believe, allowed just 4 hits. Outing like today. Now, according to Craig Counsell, a torn nail should not cost him his next start. Lauer's talking to the media after the game. This torn nail should not cost him a start. But the bottom line, 85 pitches through 3 innings, gave a 3-run homer. Brewers were an early 4-run hole. Lauer 8 hits through 3 innings. And they were just taking batting practice. Had he been in there, this would have been a 12-2 game by the 5th inning. He was not getting anybody out. It was not good at all. But the good news here, the bullpen, after having some rough patches there for a little bit, Peguera looked great. 3 solid innings. Payamps, 2 solid innings. Strzelecki finished up in the 9th inning. Now, the problem here is the Brewers were so meek offensively that they couldn't come back. I thought for sure that they could get the Turnbull and that Tiger bullpen. They haven't been able to attack that Tiger bullpen just yet. Got down 4-0. Got to within 4-3, and that was it. Rowdy Tellez hit a 6th inning home run to close it within 4-3. And you know that cheese head walk they do in the dugout where they put the cheese head on? It's always a little different vibe when they're trailing in a game, when they're going down the line there in the dugout, running the gamut with the cheesehead. It was really weird the other day when Brian Anderson hit a home run and they were down by nine runs. And, Rowdy hits the home run. Just a little different vibe in the dugout when you're down. And I get that totally. But the bottom line, they still do it when they're down. Trailed 4-3. But I thought they're still going to make their move on the Tigers. Thought they were within striking reach. There's no way they're going to go the final 3 innings and be as quiet as they were. Leadoff double by Luke Voit in the 8th inning. Here we go. Voit leadoff double over the left fielder's head up against the wall. And you're thinking, okay, you got the heart of the order coming up here. Adames, Tellez, Contreras. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night. All 3 go down on strikes, and that ends the inning. 9th inning, the Brewers go down so meekly. So weak. 1, 2, 3, and that was it. Went down without a fight. 8th inning, could not score Voit off after that leadoff double, and the Brewers lose the game. Disappointing. A little bit of a slide right now. We're going to talk about that in our next segment. A little bit of a funk they're going through. They've lost 4 of 5. I hope this thing is not going in the wrong direction, and they're going to throw. They cannot throw back that terrific start. That terrific start that they had. Let's not be throwing that back here, especially on a homestand. Come back from a 7-3 West Coast road trip, and they've dropped 2 of 3 to Boston, and they've already dropped the first 2 games against Detroit. So they're short of losing the first 2 series of this homestand. We'll talk more about that coming up in the next segment. But bullpen was the story of this game. Peguera, Payamps, and Strzelecki held the Tigers down after Lauer had a horrible start. But unfortunately, nothing after that. Today's show brought to you in part by FanDuel. FanDuel, a great sponsor here of Locked On Brewers. Grand slams, no-hitters, double plays, they are back. And no better place to get on all the MLB action than on FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. That's because right now, new customers can step up to the plate with a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000. Go to FanDuel.com/LockedOn, sign up, place your first bet, and get up to $1,000 back in bonus bets if you don't win. So don't miss out on your chance to get a no-sweat first bet up to $1,000 when you join FanDuel today. Just go to FanDuel.com/LockedOn to sign up. FanDuel, an official partner of Major League Baseball. Hope you haven't been betting the Brewers on these high lines as of late. Now, early in the season, you might have won some money with that great start they got off to. But, they've been favored in this losing skid they've been on. -171 favorite today. Believe yesterday was -145. So Eric Lauer shouldn't be a 171 favorite against anybody. Okay. So you're throwing back some of that money if you're an everydayer going on the Milwaukee Brewers. But, we'll get into that a little bit later on about this recent skid. Also, today's show brought to you by So Rare. Our new sponsor, So Rare, is a revolutionary fantasy baseball game and marketplace transforming fans and owners with officially licensed digital cards featuring players from across all 30 MLB teams. Unlike other fantasy baseball platforms, So Rare managers truly own their own fantasy experience, collecting, buying, selling, competing with player cards against global opponents to win epic awards. Win or lose, you still own your own cards, and there's no cost to play. Plus, the more you win, the more you advance, increasing your chance to get powerful cards. And you know what? There's so many great prizes they're giving away. MLB game weeks happen twice weekly, a span of a 3 to 4 day span. And at the end of the game week, So Rare managers will get scarcity cards. Those who are atop of their leagues will get So Rare scarcity cards, game tickets, merchandise, signed jersey, VIP experience, meeting MLB stars. Head to sorare.com/lockedon. That's spelled SORARE.com to draft your team of free cards. Get your lineup, set your lineup, start competing today to win epic awards. Again, it's sorare.com/lockedon to start playing today. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Appreciate you all. Follow me along here on the podcast. And, of course, follow me on Twitter, Chuck Freeman, FREIMUND. Tomorrow is game 3 of that 3-game set with the Detroit Tigers. Brewers and Tigers afternoon game on getaway day for the Tigers. 12:40 the start. Catch every pitch. Brewers hometown broadcast with SiriusXM on the SXM app. Search Brewers. And always, we appreciate the everydayers out there. Get to the box score. See who did what for the Brew Crew today. And, they're just I was just so disappointed. We all were. I just thought that had all the buildup, I think, of a come from behind win for the Brewers. Couldn't score Luke Voigt after that lead-up double in the 8th inning. All right, here's how the Brewers lined up today. Christian Yelich went 0 for 4, strikeout. Jesse Winker 0 for 2. Luke Voigt, he later pinch hit and went 1 for 2, the double in the 8th inning. Blake Perkins pinch ran for him. Willie Adames went 0 for 2, including 2 strikeouts and 2 walks. Rowdy Tellez 1 for 4. Rowdy, his 8th home run of the year. I don't know if I did talk about Rowdy's home run. Rowdy, 8th home run, clubbed one, and they were diagramming on the post-game show about how technically sound Rowdy's swing is. Now, normally you don't see free swingers like Rowdy Tellez and them breaking down the swing. And they were talking about his hip action and everything, and how everything. Vinny Rottino was breaking it down. I love Vinny Rottino. He does this so well. He was breaking down Rowdy's swing on the post-game show. And if you have a chance, go back and check that out if they replay that. And I think they do replay the post-game show on their on Bally Sports, but it's so good. Vinny's breakdowns are so good. But anyway, Tellez did homer for his only hit of the night. He also struck out once. William Contreras 0 for 3, struck out to end the 8th inning. Brian Anderson went 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Bryce Terang 1 for 4. Owen Miller went 1 for 4. Joey Weimer 1 for 3. Joey is hitting .211. Yikes. Eric Lauer, 3 innings pitch, 8 hits. Eric Terrible, 85 pitches, 4 Ks, 4 runs, 4 earned. Got him out of there with a nail injury. He says, again, that he is not going to be missing his next start. But the good news comes the bullpen. Elvis Peguero, he has been really, really good. Really good since he has been called up. 3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no earned runs, and 34 pitches. Piamps. I've been telling you on the podcast that Piamps is starting to earn my trust. Piamps, 2 innings, 2 Ks. Strzelecki, 1 inning. And counsel said after the game, because the bullpen did its job, namely Peguero came in there on in the 4th inning and worked 3 innings, sets up nicely for the bullpen tomorrow in the final game of this series. So Peguero, Piamps, and Strzelecki, with their work out of the pen, may have helped the Brewers possibly win a game. Got to start scoring some runs. They're going through a little bit of a funk with runners in scoring position. What's a Locked On Brewers without talking about some more injuries? Sal Frelick, 6 to 8 weeks, ligament surgery. He had that done on his thumb, and could be out for 2 months. 6 to 8 weeks for Sal Frelick. Terrible news. So even though the Brewers have a lot of depth in their outfield, they are it's rapidly decreasing. Garrett Mitchell, another reason why significant damage in the shoulder labrum, surgery scheduled, could miss the rest of the season. There might be a glimmer of hope he could come back. I wouldn't count on it. Don't count on Garrett Mitchell. I told you this last week that he's going to return. You have shoulder surgery and significant damage. That's a rehab process. So Mitchell and Frelick both on the shelf. Frelick be back in 2 months. But the team has lost now 4 of their last 5 games. Are they in a funk? Are they kind of leveling off? And this is what we kind of expect it from the Brewers this year. Did they play a little bit over their heads to start the season? Got off to that great start. First time this year they lost a one-run game. First time this year. Offense is quiet out. Some of the injuries. They could use Brandon Woodruff right now. You could use him anytime, but right now in the rotation. Because when things are going bad, this is where you need your stopper, like a Woodruff, to come in and get you back on the winning track after this horrible start by Lauer today that really could have wrecked the bullpen, but the bullpen kind of saved the day for Wednesday. But Woody, haven't heard much news out of Woody, what's going on there. And we knew it was going to be a while for him with the shoulder, but maybe we'll get some more news tomorrow. And Council usually talks about this before games when he holds court with the media, but definitely could use Woody. As a result, Freddie Peralta does pitch tomorrow. We'll talk about Freddie coming up here in a little bit. 25,000 fans on a Tuesday night against the Detroit Tigers, a school night, nonetheless. Boy, the fans just I don't think a show goes by that I don't praise the fans here. I was on a radio show today, and I did the same thing. I just praised the Brewer fans. 25,000 on a Tuesday night. They were giving anything away. They weren't giving prime ribs or coffee mugs or Giannis jerseys or anything. 25K on a random Tuesday night in April, not the summertime, but on Tuesday night in spring. That's damn good. Keston Hiura hit another home run down to AAA. I told you this was going to happen with Keston. Keston's going to find his way back on the parent team before you know it. Always happens. Goes down to AAA, says he learned a thing or two, worked on his stance, worked on his launch, worked on his batting stance. Then he comes up to the Brewers and same old. But Hiura's got 8 home runs so far. Hit another one tonight. Tyrone Taylor going to start his rehab at AAA Nashville. He certainly could help out the outfield situation right now. He certainly can. Needs some more depth out there. What started as a plus to start the season is quickly evaporating in the organization, especially after learning the news. Well, we knew Mitchell was going to be gone for 2 months or the rest of the season, potentially the rest of the season. And Sal Frelick, any thought of calling him up, that's not happening anytime soon after the ligament damage in his thumb that required surgery. So 4 or 5, 3 in a row. 3 in a row for a team that had not lost 2 in a row prior to Monday night, but now it's 3 in a row. Can't get swept by the Tigers. Tigers, I don't think are that bad. They got some guys in the team. Their bullpen seems to be doing a number on the Brewers right now. Their bullpen. And these guys at the bullpen, I don't think they're all that great. Some of those lefties. There are, when the starting pitching goes away for the Tigers, they turn it over to their bullpen, and their bullpen certainly has done a job for AJ Hinch and company. All right. Locked On Brewers. Chuck Freeman here. Thanks for making Locked On Brewers your first listen to every day. I know a lot of you pop it in when you get in the car in the morning. I appreciate that on a drive to work and your traffic jams. When you get up in the morning, when you're having breakfast, I've heard people say they've turned on their devices and listen. I totally appreciate that and love hearing from you. Love all hearing your stories and how you listen to Locked On Brewers every day, whether you watch us on YouTube or you get us on one of your favorite spots. And of course, on Twitter every day, I promote when we release the video and the audio, and there's a number of different spots, Spotify, Google. You can go to Apple Podcast. A lot of you download off of there, but I got a list of them all that we are on, and there's some others as well that we're on as well. So, but anyway, I appreciate you making Locked On Brewers your first listen to every day. We are here for you every day on Locked On Brewers. Locked On Brewers brought to you by BetterHelp. Getting to know yourself can be a lifelong process, especially because we're always growing and changing. Therapy is all about deepening your self-awareness and understanding, because sometimes we don't know what we want, or we react the way we do until we talk through things. BetterHelp connects you with a licensed therapist who can take you on that journey of self-discovery from wherever you are. So if you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online, designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Very, very convenient. This is BetterHelp. Just to fill out a brief questionnaire, get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can always switch therapists at any time if you want. There's no additional charge on that. Discover your potential, and with BetterHelp, you can get your potential. Visit betterhelp.com/lockedonmlb. betterhelp.com/lockedonmlb to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp. Help, HELP.com/lockedonmlb. And that is going to put you with BetterHelp. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers. Brewers play the Tigers at 12:40 coming up on Wednesday. We'll be here after the game, dropping another podcast. And, of course, catch every pitch of Brewers' hometown broadcast, Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search Brewers. Show is also brought to you by Ultimate Pro Baseball GM. Pro Baseball GM, coolest game I've ever downloaded. No kidding. I downloaded this game, wanted to give it a try. They said, hey, try this out. It is. If you want to be a Major League MLB, assimilate what it's like, this is the closest thing to it. I'm telling you, you're responsible for everything. Hiring the right coaches, staff, manage team finances, scouting, drafting players, manage through difficult personalities and injuries, navigating your franchise through free agency and all the ups and downs of a season. All this in a challenging, realistic game world. Ultimate Baseball GM, completely free. Completely free. That's the key word, completely free. And it's playable offline, play on the go as you want, when you want. I've tried it, and it is cool. If you ever want to be involved and think you can handle the reins of being a GM, this is the place to go. Ultimate Pro Baseball GM. And Locked On Brewers listeners, you get 100% free boost to your franchise. 100% free boost when using the promo code Locked On in the game store. Locked On in the game store. So make sure you check it out. Download the game. Visit probaseballgm.com. Scan the code. Look it up in the app stores, your favorite app stores, and it's right there for you. But go to the website. Go to the website, probaseballgm.com. Ultimate Baseball GM. Start your dynasty today. You just scan the code there, and it's going to put you in the right direction. All right, let's get to your tweets. See what you had to say about tonight's game. Not a lot of positive things. I have to navigate through my Twitter because I'm just getting destroyed over what I said about the Bucks. In case you missed yesterday's podcast, when the Milwaukee Bucks in their playoff game were up 14 points in the fourth quarter, I said the Miami Heat are done, D-O-N-E in capital letters, and I got absolutely destroyed all night and all day. So I have to navigate through that. All right. I put a tweet out there at the end of the game. Seriously? Couldn't do much more damage against this Tigers pen. The Brewers have officially hit their first funk of the season, having dropped 4 of 5, meekly retired to the ninth. Disappointing. Locked On Brewers dropping later. Beer Cheese Benny says, Chuck, this team is back to the same old swing habits, trying to hit home runs instead of manufacturing runs, swinging at pitches that don't even start in the strike zone, and taking way too many good pitches. Also, doesn't help that our pitching is giving up runs early in the game. I was convinced it changed. Well, again, I think they're going through funk. Yes, last 2 games, both starting pitchers, early 3-run home runs. The Brewers have been in an early hole. Today it was the second inning, but it's been an early hole that these teams have been in. The Brewers have been in, and they're playing catch-up the last 2 days against the Detroit Tigers. Buck Crewer says, it'll be interesting to know if the visiting team has hit more 3-run homers in Milwaukee than the home team over the past 15 years. So Brew Crewer thinks that visiting teams have hit more 3-run homers in Milwaukee than the Brewers have. I don't know about that. Haven't really thought about that, but interesting that you'd bring that up. Let's see. Dr. Grandinjan I have no idea if I pronounced that right, but I hope that's not a bad word. Tigers may be a bad team, but against the Brewers, they are world champions. I don't think they're a bad team. After a great road trip, they're 1-4 at home against bad competition. The Boston Red Sox aren't bad competition. They had won 5 of 7 coming in. They're not bad competition. The Oakland A's are bad competition, and even the A's won the other night against the Angels. The Brewers are looking as bad as our horrible Bucks, whose season should end tomorrow. Bad starting pitching and no hitting. I don't think the Bucs season is going to end tomorrow, to be honest with you. Brock at SB, live 3 plus 3.5 runs was a gift. Okay, so you took the Brewers down 4-1, and you won there, plus 3.5 on the live line. Woody says Voit. I'll just say Voit is not good. I'm not going to use what he said here. MN guy says Locked On Brewers been listening consistency since you took over. The Brewers have been scrapping lately. How much do you think they are missing their Energizer Mitchell? I think they miss him a lot. I think many of these guys, they miss Brandon Woodruff in that starting rotation. Okay. They miss, some of these younger guys like Bryce Terang, who doubled tonight, scored, and Joey Weimer, who's really cooled off. And some of these guys are coming back down. Rowdy continues to rake. Christian Yelich, another 0 for tonight. Just can't get him going. See what happens in the final game of the series. Michael Lorenzen goes for the Tigers. And Freddie Peralta for the Brewers. Need one from Freddie tomorrow on Wednesday. If you're listening to us on the way to the ball game, appreciate it. Thank you, all you everydayers out there. And of course, the Brewers and Tigers 1240. Every pitch of Brewers hometown broadcast, Sirius XM on the SXM app. Search Brewers. It's going to do it for me. Thanks for making Locked On Brewers your first listen to every day. We're available on all the Locked On podcast. We're available on the Locked On Podcast Network. We're free and available on a bunch of different platforms. And you just got to find us. We usually drop overnight or late night so we can get to you, everybody all around the world who listens to us and makes us their first listen and is just like me, number one Brewers fan. Guys, let's turn this thing around. Losing isn't fun. We're Brewer fans. We've been through a lot of losing. We've been through a lot of mediocrity. Let's not throw back this great start that the Brewers have gotten off to. I believe the Pirates ended up losing. I know the Pirates got off to an early lead tonight against the Dodgers. I never went back to check their score, and the Dodgers took the lead heading into the bottom of the ninth inning. Yeah, the Dodgers beat the Pirates. Thank God the Pirates have cooled off, and the Brewers stay a game behind the Pirates as the Pirates' 7-game winning streak comes to an end. All right, everybody, we'll talk to you tomorrow night after the afternoon game, midweek afternoon game. Knock off of work, get out there, and enjoy it. It's going to be, the roof is going to be closed. It's going to be another lousy day in Wisconsin. And we'll talk to you all tomorrow, everybody. Chuck Freeman here on Locked On Brewers on the Locked On Podcast Network.